Hello, today we'll be talking about the PR opportunity in celebrity endorsements. Throughout this video, I will be talking about celebrities and athletes, but to make things easier, I will categorize them as just celebrities. So by tying up with representatives of a lesser known sport organization, through the use of research data, we can test the efficacy of celebrity endorsements. Companies can use this research data to capitalize on the opportunity to build a stronger following within Singapore. So these include like lesser known sports organizations when brands build relationships with smaller communities and even reach out to the masses. The purpose of an objective, once again, is to test the efficacy of celebrity endorsements, and through that, we understand the public perceptions of celebrities. When listening and drafting out the questions, these questions should be specific and measurable, meaning to say that we must refrain from inferring, and these questions must be straightforward. I took into the account of the age of interviewees and respondents because 60% of millennials now shop online, so we want to target the age group of millennials aged 18 to 25. We also took into account the personal interests of the target audience, what a customer will look for in a product, and whether the endorser likability comes into question. And lastly, we also want to take into account the frequency in which the number of times one shops online. So for the theory and concepts, I had to understand the difference between primary and secondary research to apply it in my survey questions. I want to make sure that I avoided vague questions and gave unclear response categories. Because of all that, I needed a measurement program. Measurement program will also be able to review strengths and weaknesses of a subject. As for ethical considerations, I ensured the interviewees that the survey and questions asked were strictly confidential and used only for the purpose of a student project. So here's the part that we have all been waiting for. Through the use of surveys, we can conclude that people find endorsers not as important because it was rated the lowest when it comes to the reasons of purchase. And I found that endorsements are really effective because 70% of respondents have bought a product that their favorite celebrities endorsed. Interestingly enough, I found that brands will need more advertisements because the time spent between each purchase for shoppers was only a month. This meant that there's a huge gap between each purchase, and if advertisements are not consistently shown, then it is a missed opportunity to influence the buyer. The credibility of the endorser is also important because this meant that if a celebrity were to endorse a product, brands should look for endorsers who have good reputation and are credible. Lastly, the majority of respondents could not remember the previous time they saw a local celebrity endorsement. When we looked at key interview insights, I found that endorsements have been helpful as they have said that they are the first touch point before purchasing a product. And although a purchase is not entirely because of endorser, it is what could interest them at first sight. Interviewers also responded that the trait of role model and celebrity was important because they look up to these celebrities. However, there was a much bigger issue ahead. I found that interviewers have suggested that local celebrities are not good enough. And the interviewees also suggested that it is justified that they are not recognized because they are not good enough. And one even suggested that the social stigma in Singapore was hard to change. So in conclusion, we found that endorsements are effective. The time between each purchase is pretty long, and there is an underlying issue in the effectiveness of celebrity endorsements in Singapore for local celebrities. The endorser's reputation and following is also important. So what does this mean? This means that there should be more endorser endorsements to generate more buzz around a sport organization. Brands need to be strategic in ad placement and manage the regularity of advertisements. Lesser known sports organizations can engage celebrities that have a strong following because unknown brands can go big overnight with an endorsement. I also found that if brands were to provide solutions to their problems, it will be very helpful. In the future, I want to have a better flow of questions because I find that I asked each question with an objective already in mind, rather than having a series of questions that can give me a bit more details on what an individual might think. I also want to have a larger pool of interviewees so that I can gauge whether a large majority share the same sentiment. This way, insights found can be more helpful. Thank you.